The opinions expressed in the Comedeorological report are not necessarily the opinions of the people who are expressing them. Viewer discretion is like your problem, man.
Season 1, Episode 1. Celebrated in cake form. That is a lot of cake. Happy first birthday, Comedeorological report. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever is appropriate for your respective time zones. I am Imogen Bailey at Stefano's Art Farm at the moment. You are watching the pilot episode of the Comedeorological report on Shaw Spotlight. Welcome to the show. Over to you, Frankie.
Hey everybody, say hi, Joey only. Say hi, Joey only.
Hello.
Say hi, Joey only.
Hello.
I'm Frank McDonald. You're listening to me, Meteorological Weather Report, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, and CKUW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and CFUR 88.7 FM, and CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops, and the Shaw Cable TV. Joey Only's a really nice guy. He fights fires and things like this. Joey Only radio station is on as well. And the Shaw Cable TV. Joey Only's a really nice guy. He fights fires. Comedian plus meteorology, Caribou Weather Tool. I'm on Joey Only show every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time on his YouTube channel. Check and roll on YouTube, Caribou Weather Tool. Best luck here. I'm Frank Down. You're listening to Joey Only show every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Say hi, Joey Only.
Hello.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Good morning, Prince George. Hello, Victoria. G'day, Kamloops. Good afternoon, Winnipeg. I'm Joey Only here. This is the Comedeorological Report. Comedy plus meteorology equals comedeorology. It's a science that I founded just over 2 years ago. This is episode 1 of season 1 of the Comedeorological Report on TV on Shaw Spotlight. So this is actually our 99th episode of the show, but it's episode 1. So figure that out. What is it? Episode 99, episode 1. We have our panel of comedy meteorologists here. And as the show goes on in the coming weeks, we'll be adding more and more of the usual regulars back into the show. But for tonight, you get the standard people. You're listening to us on CFUR 88.7 FM, Prince George, where it all began. You're listening to us on CFBX 92.5 FM, Kamloops. You're listening to us. There's so many things to say now. CKW 95.9 FM, and Shaw Spotlight. I'm Joey Only. I live here in Wells, British Columbia. I'm the host of your show. You can find all the past episodes on Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. Now, who are the panel of meteorologists? Number one guy who we're going to talk about the most in a couple minutes is the world famous Frankie McDonald. You probably already know something about him. And if you don't, you're going to know a lot soon.
Be prepared!
The other guy we always have, number 2, is our Western Canada weather specialist. His name is Brandon Houck, and he's a radio man out in Brooks, Alberta.
That'd be because I'm on the radio right now, and I tend to get sexier by the time I go on the air, so that's how it works here.
He's number 1 guy at 105.7 FM, real country radio in Brooks, Alberta. And he's also like a whole bunch of other stuff. He's like a weather maniac, this guy, Brandon Houck. And then we have Imogen Cookie Bailey.
Success is wild by default of how much failure we are all surrounded by.
Who joins us from Victoria, British Columbia. So that's kind of what we're starting with this week, just to keep it simple for everybody. Number 1 is Frankie McDonald. He's out in the street in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And every week he gives us a big rundown on the weather. So we're going to go right straight to Frankie McDonald.
Frankie!
How you doing so far?
I'm doing great so far in autobiography history about me when I was a little boy and a little toddler. I used to watch the weather on TV a lot, and I used to go swimming, driving on bicycles and things like this, and tricycles. I drove bikes when I was a little boy, swing on a swing, going on the side, teetoters, things like this when I was a little boy. And I learned to use the toy gadgets when I was a kid, things like this. I graduated from Sydney Academy High School in 2004. I learned how to use computers in the 1990s. And I learned how to type properly in my typing class in 2002-2003 school year at Sydney Academy. I graduated from Sydney Academy in June 2004. Then December 27, 2007, I started my YouTube channel, Blank99, that no longer exists. I just did videos of the scenery. Then on December 16, 2009, I did the very first video of myself. Then in June 2010, I did the very first viral video, severe earthquake warning for California, September 2010. And my severe earthquake warning for California, September 2010 video made it to Tosh.0 Season 2, Episode 13 on the Comedy Network Canada, Comedy Central United States. Attention, citizens of California! Attention, citizens of Oregon! Attention, citizens of Washington! And attention, citizens of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada! Earthquake warning has been issued for California! It's gonna be 9.0 or greater magnitude. People in California, you have to be prepared for a major earthquake. It's going to occur in September 2010. The earthquake will be so powerful in California and may destroy lots of houses. It may destroy telephone poles, may destroy all kinds of transformers, and may knock all kinds of telephone poles over in California. People in California, be prepared. Have your medical kits ready. Have your everything ready. And have all the flashlight cutting, canned foods and everything. The earthquake will be so powerful in California. People in Vancouver, you can't escape from major earthquakes forever. It may destroy everything. Then I started my first YouTube channel June 14, 2011. And my most viewed video ever on my YouTube channel is Guy Tries to Eat 50 Hot Dogs at Once. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a video about the guy eating 50 hot dogs at once. Monster, relish. I got 283,000 subscribers as of right now on my YouTube channel. And I'm doing really well doing weather reports. My most viewed weather report ever on my YouTube channel is major storm that hit South Dakota on Friday, October 4th, 2013. Got so many views. And I did it. Major earthquake to hit New Zealand anytime soon. Massive earthquake to hit New Zealand anytime soon on Friday, October 21st, 2016. 3 weeks later on Sunday, November 13, 2016. I got my earthquake prediction right, 7.8 magnitude earthquake. The news picked me up all over the internet and things like this. But so many people saw my video.
How many times have you been right about earthquake predictions, Frankie?
California in 2019. In 2016, quite a few were right. In Turkey, earthquake, things like this, etc. And it's going to be a snowstorm in Sydney, Nova Scotia, Thursday overnight and early Friday morning. And Toronto's getting the blizzard conditions and things like this. It's going to bring severe weather in Dallas, Texas, and things like this. And Vancouver, British Columbia's getting some snow and rain mixed in Vancouver, British Columbia, and New Caledonia. It's a tropical cyclone somewhere in the South Pacific. One cyclone right after another there. Right now, Australia's into their southern hemisphere meteorological autumn in southern hemisphere in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Chile, and all those places. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Venezuela, Brazil, all across Peru, Ecuador, down in Argentina, and Bolivia, and Amazon rainforest bring lots of rain and thunderstorms. Right now, India is going to get into really hot weather next month in May. That's their summer. Once their summer ends, they'll be entering monsoon season in June and July, and it's going to bring they had cold weather in Algeria this week, and Siberia is getting warmer right now, bit by bit. It's getting us warmer temperatures in Siberia as of right now. That means Siberian side is gradually weakening for in April. Temperature will be going above freezing in Siberia and things like this.
Frankie McDonald, who has the worst weather in the entire world right now?
Somewhere in Vanuatu, there's a lot of cyclones going on there right now. Some person messaged me on Facebook Messenger, and I just sent her a video. She's down South Pacific somewhere. And my original Frank Del bobbleheads came out in 2016, but bobbleheads Canada no longer exists. And in current Frank Del bobbleheads coming out is from National Bobblehead Hall of Fame is Cowboy Frank Del bobblehead. And as for previous Frank Del bobbleheads, there's 32 orange talking Frank Del bobbleheads left in stock according to National Bobblehead Hall of Fame. I'm also an author of book Be Prepared, the Frankie McDonald Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything, according to Nimbus Publishing in Halifax.
I do have that book here somewhere, and usually it's right here.
Oh, you say that now. The one time. Okay.
Told you. What's this right here? Frankie McDonald's book. So he's the real deal. This is Imogen Bailey. She's our associate producer of the show.
All that I associate with the producer.
Frankie, why did you start so many YouTube channels?
Back then, I didn't know how to ignore clowns, trolls, haters. Back in 2010, I learned my lesson. Now I ignore all clowns and trolls. There's a lot of trolls and haters out there, and clowns trying to, and they make each other, like especially those teenagers and things like this.
That's one of the strengths about you, is that you ignore all the clowns and trolls. Frankie, what's the weather doing in outer space right now?
Oh my God, the aliens are here!
What's that noise?
Sounds like a flying saucer is coming. There's dozens of aliens coming from planet Sedna, Eris, Ceres, and Quawar. Solar flares shooting from the sun and things like this. As of right now, lots of solar flares shooting from the sun right now and things like this. It was really bad and disrupting the television signal, disrupting the NHL hockey game on regular television.
Yeah, we had some amazing northern lights here, Frankie. The other night, I went out in the truck with the kids. So Willow and I drove all the way out to the wilderness to see the northern lights.
Yep.
We got to one of my favorite lookouts towards Bowen Lake. The road's only been plowed one way, so we had to drive a long way to find a turnaround. And then we got here and there was too many clouds and our show was ruined. And all our quality time was ruined. Yeah. So much for our quality time. The kind of things that a weatherman does with his kids in the middle of the night, venturing down roads that no one should take their kids down in the middle of the night. Wolves everywhere and monsters. Shouldn't bring your kids out where there's monsters, should I, Willow?
Nope.
But I do.
But the monsters won't get us
Why is that?
because we're protected by the best dad ever.
Oh, thank you. I thought it's because we had doors that locked.
You're the last person to order a green talking Frank Dow bobblehead.
That's true. To celebrate a new show, I was like, you know what? Because I got so much cool stuff here. I got a little bit of extra money right now. I was like, it's time that I got myself the Frankie McDonald. And the last one, I said, Frankie, which one should I get? And he said, get the green. There's only one left. And I was like, yeah, of course. That makes sense. So then Brandon had to get the orange one because well, he's the orange man.
Boom! There goes the dynamite.
Also
the
known
orange
as
man.
a ginger jam. Okay, so there's this weird thing with Frankie where he'll like video call and give us orders to go and just show up at, like, he'll send a link and say, this is a podcast, go here. And we follow Frankie's orders and it's always an adventure. It's not usually shopping related. It's usually podcasts. And there have been some really wild experiences that we've all had.
The bobblehead is made by National Bobblehead Hall of Fame. They use my face. They use my likeness and things like this. And I just showed them, told them my sneaker laces are white and things like this. I told them my sneakers are white.
Sometimes Frankie says, show up for this podcast. And we show up and we're like on national TV. And then the next time he says, show up for the podcast. And it's 13-year-old kids and who are making their very first podcast. And it's like, that's what Frankie does, is he just supports everybody. That's how the show originally began. I was just like, I need to make a show, a really weird one, because I'm really weird about weather. We're like, well, who's the funniest person I know in the world of weather? It's like, I'll message Frankie. Want to make a show? And he's like, good idea.
Yeah. Frankie wants something to happen and it does. And it's usually Frankie decides that it's time to be on a podcast for no reason. He'll find one and then message 20 of us. And because he just wants to go with a group of friends. Frankie wants his entourage to go with them and just roll into a podcast.
So Frankie, tell us about the storm in Sydney, Nova Scotia that's coming.
It's going to bring 30 to 40 centimeters or so in Halifax, Nova Scotia, 10 to 15 in Sydney, Nova Scotia, because Halifax is getting a lot of snow. And so is Toronto, Ontario is getting 30 plus centimeters of snow in Toronto too. This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station. Live from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major snowstorm is headed towards Nova Scotia on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. During evening hours, it's going to bring 20 to 30 centimeters of snow, especially in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and South Shore, Nova Scotia. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be very strong. It's going to cost blowing snow, drift the snow, reduce visibilities. Dangerous and treacherous driving conditions. It's going to cause wide-open conditions and streets, roads, highways, and Trans-Canada Highway will be snow-covered. It's also going to hit Moncton, New Brunswick, St. John, New Brunswick, and parts of Fredericton, New Brunswick. It's going to bring a lot of snow in Nova Scotia, especially in Halifax, Nova Scotia, South Shore, Nova Scotia, and New Glasgow, Truro, Canfield, Wolfville, and surrounding areas as well. People in Nova Scotia, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready. Have your winter jackets ready. Have your hats ready. Have your gloves ready. Have your scarves ready. Have your ski pants ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi and buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now. Make sure of your Samsung Galaxy charge, smartphones, cell phones, laptops, tablets charge, have your 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE ready as well. When you're driving the car, take your time driving the car, slow down, so you don't get in a car accident. When you go for a walk, be very careful walking so you don't slip and fall. Make sure you have your furnaces ready and turn on your furnaces and heat pumps to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea to keep you warm. Have your extra blankets ready to keep you warm as well. Make sure of your shovels, snow scoops, snow blowers, snow plows, salt trucks ready as well. It will continue on Friday, March 3rd, 2023. If you have anybody living in Nova Scotia, be prepared for major snowstorm on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023 during evening hours. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a major snowstorm. Stay warm, be safe.
So we are going to come back to Frankie McDonald in a little bit and talk to him some more. But we are going to continue with the usual format of the show, which brings us next to the Ginger Gem himself, Brandon Houck. Smoking good barbecue. This guy, he went to a Calgary Flames game this week and killed a cat to do so. But that's not in his nature to do things like that. It's Brandon's not generally.
I didn't do it on purpose. No,
he does. I mean, yeah. He's an Albertan, so he does eat meat, but he would never purposely kill your cat.
No animals were harmed in the following Wait, I'm reading it wrong. Animals were harmed in the following segment.
Well, if it's a choice between getting to a Flames game and a cat, why, you're going to have to get a new cat.
And on the way to Calgary, we had a little trouble. My dad's truck, it died on the highway. It didn't die literally, but it died. And we pulled into the Husky, checked the oil, and got it started again, and then we pulled it into the dealership there. And lo and behold, apparently a cat got into the truck, especially during those colder periods there. And yeah, we found it attached to the turbo.
Anybody seen the cat lately?
Well, I did see Brandon Houck down at the curling rink earlier today. Maybe check down there.
Not good. So just a quick reminder to anybody on the prairies or anywhere across Canada, always make sure you give that little tap on the hood of your car to make sure all the little critters are out from under the hood of your car. As we got to Calgary, we had an incredible dinner at the Telus Lounge. Oh, there's like shrimp, there's mussels, there's salmon, there's prime rib. Even though I have to say, the taco in a bag at the Brooks Bandits game is the best thing ever. Now, it was an intense game. It was a good game. The first period was a little shaky, but the game went on, and those Calgary Flames, they caught up quite dramatically, and we actually got the lead there, especially as we got into the third period there. Down 2-1 so far, but I think we can make it. I think we can get a couple more goals in this third period. We came close. Ready for the third period. Bruins go! Go Flames go! Go Flames go! Right. The bad news is we lost. But it was a very close game. My goodness, 4-3, the final score. Here at Scotiabank Saddledome, Boston Bruins. Oh boy. Wow, what a game.
But it was a good game. I have to say, one of the best performances I've seen from the Flames this year.
Yeah, that cat got lucky. He didn't have to see the Flames season end.
Now, on the way out of this hockey game that we went to in Calgary, we had other problems. I heard this weird sound in my dad's truck.
Might eat meat.
Lord. That took a gruesome turn. All of a sudden, the ginger gem goes from being the sweet little boy next door to like a cat murder. Why? What have you done? There's more to this. I demand an explanation.
Oh, there's an explanation. Yeah. It's just that evil around here.
So besides that, though, like, so then after the hockey game, you're driving home and you had like some kind of a badger underneath the truck.
Well, actually, this is as we were getting into the vehicle here, and we had this just got walking out of the gate. So we were coming out of the game, and we were in the parking lot there, and all of a sudden we hear this strange noise inside this vehicle. It goes or something like that. So I'm like, oh goodness, what is that? So we're in the back seat, and it's coming from the back seat of the truck there. And there's this noise. It keeps going. It keeps going. We're looking under the seat. We've grabbed flashlights. We're taking things out of the back seat of the truck there. We're looking behind the seats. We're looking all over the place. And we're trying to figure out what this sound is. It keeps going. And we're almost ready to give up here. And all of a sudden, we look up to the roof, and we forgot that we had a DVD player in the vehicle, and what is popping in and out of that DVD player? That is the Lost World of Jurassic Park.
He's like driving down the road after having this cat experience, and there's like dinosaurs in the truck.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Can you go back and clarify the cat experience? Because all we've said is that Brandon murdered a cat, and that does not sound right. Can you just clarify?
Well, you'll have to wait for the video. We've already did you not see the video I made, Imogen?
The video.
I skimmed it.
We don't want to overtalk.
But at the moment, it all just sounds bad for Brandon.
It's bad for Brandon.
It is. Though I make it sound better in the video. I explain things.
Well, we might as well explain it now. So Brandon ran over a cat.
No, I did not. The cat was he snuck into the vehicle, and we didn't know it was there. You know, when you're driving away.
He aimed right for it.
So you stole a cat. You kidnapped a kitty. Okay. You know what? That's not.
Did not kidnap a cat.
There's like some child somewhere right now, like bawling.
You're bad people.
No, this is like a stray cat, like cat, a wild
better.
There were no dinosaurs in the truck, though. Thank goodness. That would have been completely bad.
Well, yeah,
that's right. Didn't want to get eaten by a dinosaur.
We should fight them on the beaches. We shall fight them with the ace of spades.
You know, and you never know when you go to Alberta, when you go to Calgary, you never know when you might pick up a dinosaur.
That's right. That's right. It's just like the Vacation with the Griswolds, pretty much. You never know what you're going to get.
So, Brandon Houck, other things that you do is that you also produce Brooks Bandits hockey games. So talk to us about the Brooks Bandits this week. You went to the game last night, and what are they? They're 70 wins and no losses this year or something? What's going on?
Yeah, well, I did not go to the game. I was in the studio producing the game, making the game all champions last year, and I think we're going to get pretty close to champions again this year. So, yeah, that's just me bragging about the Brooks Bandits. But, yeah, Brooks Bandits, at least, I'd say they've only got at least 5 losses for the whole season here. So, I'd say pretty incredible, successful season. 1 overtime, 1 shootout loss. And that was about, I think I've been to overtime like 3 times in the 60-game period. We've got one more game to play on Sunday. I'm going to double check here. March the 5th. All right, so Sunday, March the 5th, that is our last game of the regular season. And then we were moving on to the playoffs, and looks like we are in a bye for the first round because we're so good. So we have to sit and wait while all the other teams play to find out who we're going to play next. And that's going to be figured out probably March 24th will be the next time the Bandits play after a bit of a break, a little bit of a hiatus there. So that is your Brooks Bandits, national champions, 3-time national champions. And we're going to try to go for another title again this upcoming spring.
And well, you know that without good production behind them, they wouldn't have that pride that makes them like, we are just from Brooks, Alberta, but we got this. We got amazing production going on behind us. We got Brandon Houck in the studio. We got that guy who's always, at the game talking.
Oh yeah, Nathan Crosby.
Nathan Crosby.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what's the weather doing in Brooks, Alberta? And Brandon Houck's main segment is he gives us the Western Canada weather. He is the weather specialist. Weather specialist Brandon Houck. Lay it out.
All right, Brandon, how out here to win? We're almost lost by 2.
All right. So, yes, let's get this Western Canada forecast going here. So this week itself, we had some pretty wild weather today. We'll talk about today's weather, but a couple of days ago, we had a couple blasts of snow, no significant accumulations, but at least a couple pretty good blasts of snow here and there. Temperatures kind of bouncing around. It's been cool last couple of days, really warm today with the Chinook that rolled in this morning and produced wind gusts of 117 kilometers an hour in Lethbridge and blowing sand and dust in Lethbridge this morning. So all the white snow turned brown today in Lethbridge. So that's what happened in Lethbridge today. And then we've had the convective flurries and snow showers popping up this evening in the central region of the province and into the foothills and mountain parks. We also had Highway 3 shut down due to a vehicle collision there from earlier today. And we'll update you on that situation later when we find out more on that. The other thing is we also had thunder and lightning today near Vernon, British Columbia. So a little bit of convection and a little bit of instability. Not enough instability to get anything like wild that they're getting in Texas going, but enough instability, a couple lightning strikes, not out of the question today, which was the 2nd of March, and again for the 3rd here. So we'll be watching the instability values over the next few days. And even on the coastal sections of British Columbia as well, we're going to be dealing with a couple of scattered showers, snow showers, maybe the odd lightning strike here and there. But and in the interior sections, we get a little bit more on that snow shower activity there. And for us in Alberta into next week, we're going to be back into that northwesterly or northeasterly flow here. So that's going to mean the potential could be there for a little bit more snow shower activity to develop into early next week, maybe a couple centimeters Monday into Tuesday-ish, which would be the 6th and 7th of March there. And then as we go throughout most of next week, temperatures going to be on the cool side. So it's definitely going to feel like winter still with daytime highs in the minus teens, overnight lows pushing minus 20s for Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Doesn't look like much in the way of any precipitation for Saskatchewan and Manitoba as we go into next week there. So the bulk of the precipitation looks to stay in Alberta and through British Columbia, and then we'll have to watch later next week. Meanwhile, BC is going to stay on the mild side, but later next week we might have to watch for another storm system move on the coast sections there, and that might bring another round of significant precipitation for coastal sections of British Columbia there. And then today they had some wild weather in Texas. They're still dealing with severe thunderstorm watches, tornado warnings at this hour, and we had a nasty storm hit Dallas with wind gusts over 125 kilometers an hour in the last couple of hours there. So power flashes all over the city, and damage has been reported as well. And we still have even had a couple of tornadoes touch down just to the east of Dallas, even one touchdown in Shreveport, Louisiana, and another tornado touchdown actually in the city of Dallas. So we'll continue to investigate that.
The beginning of convection season, it's happening, right? Because we've already had some hailers, and now we had some lightning and thunder today in the British Columbia interior. For everybody who's not aware, I should have said this at the top of the hour, is that we record the show on Thursday nights. So whenever you're seeing it or hearing it or whatevering it, just know that that's when we say today, we don't mean your today, we mean our today.
Now, I'm sure you have a solid idea where I'm going with this.
It's going to involve sharks flying in the air.
It has to. Now, I would normally ask Frankie this, but I'm going to ask Brandon because Brandon brought up tornadoes. Now, what would the wind speed have to be to create enough suction to pull a standard extra medium-sized shark out of the water and hurl it across a trailer park?
That's easy.
I'm going to go with at least Yeah, I'd say at least 130 to 200 kilometers an hour. That would pull sharks out of the water.
A solid F2, you got flying sharks.
Yeah, flying sharks, just like flying cows.
Speaking of tornadoes, not to diminish anything from the importance of talking about Sharknadoes every week, we always have special guests on. And what do you got lined up for us this month, Brandon?
Yes, later on this month, we are going to have some special guests coming in or coming on the show, and they're going to be they're putting together this a big event. They've started this big event many years ago, but they're going to keep it going.
Did we lose our ginger gem?
We are not going to lose your ginger gem. No.
Good, he froze there.
No, you froze.
I think you
froze.
Yeah, the ginger gem is still here.
In the
Clearly, he's not frozen.
To be fair, in the presence of
I'm moving
such
around.
beauty, it's hard not to.
ChaserCon Canada. This is an event that's been held for many years. It's going to be held in Olds, Alberta this year. And we have a couple of storm chasers coming on the show in the middle of this month here. Chris Ratzlaff and Tracy Dick. They're very good storm chasers, and they're going to be jumping on the show, and they're going to be telling us about what's coming up for ChaserCon Canada, what we could look forward to. We're going to talk a little bit about their event and even probably talk about their storm chasing experiences.
That's what I'm especially interested in.
And especially Aaron J. Jack, extreme meteorologist Aaron J. Jack, met me in person at the Mayflower Mall on Friday, September 23rd, 2022. That's the day before Hurricane Fiona hit Sydney, Nova Scotia. I lost power for a whole week in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia. The telephone pole was upside down, power lines on the streets, and then things like this. And they had to declare it as a state of emergency because the Fiona did a lot of damage in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia back on September 24th, 2022. It took a long time to clean up. They had to deploy it in the military, power trucks, things like this.
So let's go back to talking about Aaron J. Jack for a second, Frankie. Do you think we're going to see Aaron J. Jack when we're all together in Sydney, Nova Scotia on April 8th, 2024?
Yes, I told him to follow your Facebook page and your Twitter page back on Friday, September 23rd, 2022. I met him in person at the Mayflower Mall then.
Yeah, and we are Facebook friends there, I noticed. And so that's what's going on, though. We're all going to go to Sydney, Nova Scotia. Everybody who knows Frankie, the whole world's going to go to Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Total solar eclipse is happening in Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8th, 2024. All you guys are heading for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Friday, April 5th, 2024. And back in June 22nd, 2018, Bass Guy Show came to the Big Fiddle when I was still working at the Mayflower Mall. Then on Saturday, June 23rd, my book launch took place at the Mayflower Mall. Bass Guy was there. A lot of people went to see me at the book launch and things like this. Monica Beaulieu was there. Monica Beaulieu was doing great so far.
Now, that'll be the launch of season 2, episode 1. Everybody in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And there was avalanches today.
Oh, yes. Avalanches. Yeah, we had actually, I think this was yesterday here. I'm just going to find the
just trying to get through the Brandon Houck segment now. And we've been really dragging out tonight, but that's good.
That's exactly what I plan to do, is just drag it all out. So we had a couple of avalanches here near Invermere, British Columbia here. Believe at least as we get the latest update here, at least a couple of fatalities. 3 Germans folks from Germany passed away in the avalanche here near Invermere yesterday, and so definitely not a good situation there. So
the official report's not up on Avalanche Canada yet. Otherwise, I'd have more to say. I'm pretty sure if you tune into my YouTube channel, Joey Only Care to Be Weather Dude, I often make avalanche reports, and I've been really stressing how dangerous it is this year. I mean, everyone is. Avalanche Canada's been doing their best to get the word out. I mean, people are going to do what they do, I guess, obviously. And what this phenomenon is, I've thought about this a fair bit. It's the phenomenon of, this is my one chance. It was all meant to be. I'm here. It's my one chance. Nothing bad's going to happen. I'll give you an example. There was that guy who used to snowboard. He'd climb mountains, really big ones, and then he'd snowboard down from the top. And his life dream was to work himself up to Everest. And he spent years saving money and training, and they finally got to Mount Everest, and he went all the way to the top, and a storm was moving in, and the Sherpas were like, don't go down. And he said, no, this is my one chance. And no one ever saw him again. You know, and it's like, that's a phenomenon. It's like, it can't happen to me. Or like, there's the mystical feeling you get in your life when you've planned something for so long. You traveled across the ocean to come to BC for your big ski trip. It's your one weekend off because you work 70-hour weeks as a logger or whatever, right? And you get this one chance to go, this is my chance this winter. And people that have this sort of like, it's fatalistic. Everything's meant to be. What a perfect day. And then, so now it's 12 people so far this year, at least, that have been killed by avalanches. Never mind the ones you don't know of. Prince George, Saturday, high -2, clear at night, low of -17. So it's supposed to be kind of on the cool side seasonally still for the next bunch of days. -16 at night, say on Sunday, -19 at night on Monday. But of course, the daytime, the heating, I mean, you'll see the temperature say on the forecast -9, but when you're in the sun during the day now, the sun's radiant power will make it feel warmer and often will be melting things, even though it's well below zero air temperature. And just to put it into perspective, if they're saying it's a bit of a cold snap coming, well, it's not, because in 1976, it was -34.4 today. No one's getting that, are they, Brandon?
Nope. We broke the record this day in 2019 when we reached -38 degrees here. So I remember that day. That was the night of the Prairie Girls Gala. One of the first ones I went to.
Wow. So I'm going to go to the Prairie Girls Gala next year. Brandon said that I can sell myself off. And
there you go.
Said, because I'm not even
auction
from
yourself.
Brooks, they'll just tear the clothes off me. I can't wait. I'm going to do it. So, hi, Mike and Rihanna from Medicine Hat, Alberta. That's cool.
Oh boy.
Hey guys, Janet here with Cape Breton Originals. My stint for the Comedeorological report. So I'm in the Grand Lake Road area here in Cape Breton. Hi, Imogen. Hey, Joey. Hey, Frankie McDonald. You're from the Pier Deer. Brandon Houck, the gang. So as you can see, I'm here beside a busted down tree, one of the usual remnants since we've had Hurricane Fiona. So I'm in actually an ATV trail. Well, snowmobile trail with the snowstorm that's coming tonight with any luck. So I'm not too far from the university. It's a pretty nice day here in Cape Breton. But if you've ever been to Cape Breton, that's what you look for if you see a snowmobile trail or an ATV trail. Something like that. If you see that, you know you're in the right location if you've got a sled or a bike. I hope everyone's doing well on Canada, or in Canada, apologies. And it's nice being on Shaw TV. Thanks for having us. Anyhow, I just want to say hi again, Janet Dermody with Cape Breton Originals. You can follow me on Facebook or TikTok. Have a good one, guys. Hope you have a great show.
I think it's rather funny that missionaries tend to only go to warm places to work. Yeah, I heard them people up in Siberia really need the word of God these days. Yeah, I heard that too. I'll pray for them.
I'm at Camosun College Lansdale campus. I just got doodled by a comic book drawing course because I am a human cartoon, and that's just something I do. Figure this is a good time for a weather update. As you can see behind me, clear blue skies. Couple of clouds here, there, and not so much of everywhere. Ooh, see, there's one. Yeah, okay, look over here. Might be another one. There's one up there. Yeah, found a couple. They're a little sparse at the moment. We did get a bit of snow the other day. There's still a couple little piles of snow on the ground. Not a whole lot, though. So, looking over there. Yeah, see? Snow. Told ya. That's about it for snow. Everywhere else got dumped on. We got a little sprinkling. It got shoveled, and now we have a couple of snowballs kicking around. But for the most part, it's back to a sunny day in paradise. Blue skies, green grass, lots of trees everywhere. More of the same. So, let's just enjoy it while it's here. Yep, that is hail on my windshield. Hail, tons of it. About 10 minutes ago, it's clear skies and sunshine. All of a sudden, some dark clouds came rolling in. Got a little bit of rain drizzling around, and we just had about 30 seconds of hail. Still a couple little pieces floating around. See? There you go.
With you guys in your -30, -40 Siberian nightmarish frozen hellscape, being on a tropical island, let's face it, Vancouver Island is very tropical. We have the most gentle, tamest climate ever. Here's what our week looks like. Today, we had a high of 8, low of 1. That's our wild winter variable. Throughout the week, we're going to have high of 7, low of 1. It's going to get down to 1 or 2 degrees. We may get a little bit of freezing here and there. That's it. We're Tropical. I live in a tropical paradise.
Well, Brandon will agree with me that can make you weak.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. But to be fair, this is a retirement city. We have a lot of seniors. We have a lot of older people. The moderate climate is very inviting for people who do have a lot of diverse abilities because we do have that gentle, temperate environment all year. So growing up here, I want the heavy snow. I want the extreme weather. I want to see tidal waves and tsunamis. It's an island, Pacific Rim. We should get at least a couple here and there.
Well, hello. Uncharacteristically, we got some snow. I'm at a horse farm. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's a mini horse. There's some other horses roaming around here. They're just trotting around in the snow. Cold, sunny, bright, glorious day in paradise with snow.
We have, but, not this week. This week.
In the last 10 days in Wells, I think we've had about 70 centimeters of snowfall. And that's completely normal here. And I love it, actually. It's been nice and warm and snowing. And that's the way we like it here. As long as it's snowing, then we're getting that Pacific weather and we're not getting that Alberta weather, which should just stay over where Brandon is and never come again.
You get the truly Canadian experience in that the hostility of the weather is just too polite to come to your door.
And we're off for another historic dog sled mail run here. Oh, and there's been an accident, and the dogs are all... Another historic, just as it was 160 years ago here, dogs are dogs. It's the dog sled mail run day here in Quinnell, Wells, Barkerville, and beyond. What's going on here today, Willow?
It's the dog sled mail thing.
The dog sled mail thing. Nice. So, these are all male dogs.
Male dogs?
Yeah.
They're taking the mail.
How come you don't have any female dogs?
Oh, I see what you mean. No, there's lots of females. I thought you meant for the mail run itself. No.
So it's not really a male run.
That's true.
Okay. Here they're having their meeting. They're discussing how to be really awesome. So, how long have you been a sled dog? Wow, that's a long time. You've come all the way from Oregon?
Yes, I have.
And a foot of snow fell at the airport in Portland?
You got the story, eh?
Yeah, well, that's what I do. Is it your first time in Wells?
It is.
Right on. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And I'm expecting a computer in the mail, so can you not drop that?
Okay.
Yeah, like in the snow.
I'll be sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Anything else I should know?
The snow is fucking deep. And you know what's awesome? This is completely normal.
Nice.
Yeah, like this is not even a big year. Well, good luck to you, man. That's so great that you came all this way.
Awesome to be here. You gotta do what the dogs were bred to do, right?
Well, that's the thing. They love it.
Yeah.
You know, some of these dogs are just vibrating and they can't wait. Like, hey, where are you from?
Prince George.
Oh, so you didn't have to come as far as these guys did.
Too far.
Yeah, I was just joking with them how a foot of snow fell in Portland. As soon as they come up here.
Yeah,
like
as they were coming through, it was coming down.
So this isn't your first dog sled mail run?
No, I used to, it's my first mail run. I used to do the dash, but this is the first time we just picked this up this year, and so it's first time all 3 days.
Yeah.
And Thursday night was cold.
Yo, it was too, like, you know, that's the thing. I was talking to this Williams Lake couple there, is that to do certain things, like I'm a forest firefighter, you have to enjoy suffering or allow yourself to.
Yeah, you have to allow yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to enjoy it.
And then you get to that point where you have like power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Made it through that, made it through yesterday. Looking forward to the next 2 days.
Excellent. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
If you were dog sledding through the mountains and got stuck in a snowstorm, would you eat your dogs?
No.
Yeah, me too. I wouldn't do that. Where are they going? That's the wrong way. Oh, those dogs are from Oregon. They don't know which way Barkerville is.
There they go again.
Oh, and there's been an accident, and the dogs are all... Another historic, just as it was 160 years ago here, dogs are dogs. No, that didn't go so well, but that's what happens when you tie a bunch of dogs to each other, try to get them to do the same thing. Yeah, he is mad that they're not running. He's like, come on, everybody. It's wrong, I want to run. All right, take 3, and they're off. Historic Barkerville dog sled mail run. And the Saturday snowstorm is really kicking up into high gear now. And like we said it would, 30 more centimeters coming to Wells. What a great day for a dog sled run. This is what it's all about. Hammering through the hardest weather there is. Getting there and getting it done. Is every day working for Shaw Cable TV this gloriously awesome?
It's amazing. Yes.
I bet. I bet. You're gonna see our show on there soon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who are you? You guys are with
I'm Joey Only. They're making a big line now so that the dogs can no longer escape. Like, you are going this way. Red Rover, Red Rover. Literally. Literally playing Red Rover with rovers. Let's ask this guy a question. Hey man, how come they're not letting you run? What did you do wrong? What's wrong with you? How come you're not allowed to run? Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. You have a good day, okay? Yes. Oh, I see. Giving me the bum. Right on. That's a really nice boy. Success again? Always. Excellent. No one told them the post office isn't open on Saturday. Everyone's like, it's cold. That's enough. All the people running the dogs, they can suffer while we go and drink hot coffee.
How Canadian are we? Yeah.
To be fair, the weather today was a little bit chaotic. I sent in the video clip that they'll be showing was really highlights that. It was clear blue skies with a couple of clouds. Like I had to look around and find a couple of clouds. Very clear, crystal clear, beautiful, tropical paradise. And then 20 minutes later, nothing but angry, demonic, opening the gates of hell from the sky. Dark, black, angry clouds come rolling in. Yes. There's like 3 minutes of heavy rain, and then we're pelted by hail.
Convection.
Of hailstorm. Yes.
I love it. Soon it starts like this. It starts with little hailers, and then it starts with little thunderstorms that go along the ridge top and just give a little lightning here and there. And then the lightning storms get a little bit bigger, and then they get a little bit bigger. And then as you start getting later into May, they get angry, and then we start getting severe thunderstorm watches and warnings and things like that. And then it dries out, and then we get thunderstorms and that create fires. And then Joey gets called to work. That is over the top.
She's cooking.
I think that's a forest fire.
Are you sure?
Could be true.
Well, to be fair,
I had a woodpecker in the house today, so yeah.
Our ginger jam is pretty much the most.
I don't think. Are we allowed to know? Associate producer, he said he had a woodpecker at his house today. Are we allowed to talk about that? Is that
really?
It's an animal, right? A bird.
Okay, good.
Bird. It's just a bird.
Oh, okay. Well, we know it's a bird.
One thing happens to you other than the cat incident, and you're like, meh, it was a bird. Okay, to be fair. Meh.
Nothing happened to the woodpecker, though. I yelled at it, okay? Told her to get lost because I was trying to record some weather, and all I hear is I'm sitting here. I go to the window and I gave it a little shout, and it flew away. Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon speaks woodpecker.
I speak woodpecker.
Yeah, a little bit better than mine.
I guess when you live on the prairies, it takes a lot for neighbor children to be on your lawn when they shouldn't be. So instead of yelling at kids to get off of your lawn, you're yelling at a bird to get off your roof.
Get off my roof.
Someday we're gonna have.
You do not look like you're 75, but I'll take it.
Someday we're gonna have the Frankie McDonald World Tour. Frankie, where's all the places you plan to go? Talk to us about the World Tour.
Going to every city in North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Oceania.
Going to go to every country in the world?
Entire face of the planet Earth ever. Possibility to go to the moon and Mars.
Stay tuned because the Frankie McDonald World Tour is coming. He's going to every country on Earth. He's even possibly going to Mars and the moon. Maybe, definitely the space station.
Yes, and then we go to Saturn's moon Titan.
I want to go to Mars.
Want to go there.
You know why I want to go to Mars? The different gravity. I can put a shark anywhere I want. I can jump really high. I can live like a superhero. I can pick up real big heavy things and make it look like I'm lifting super heavy weights when really it's like just light gravity.
It's like the middle of the winter and people are sitting around in Canada and they're going crazy and they're like, oh, I just want to get out of Canada. Maybe, I know, let's go to Mars someday.
Where it's colder.
Because that's so much better than here.
Other than
Frankie, what
watch your
happens
wife
on
run away
Mars?
across Paris.
I can't suntan
Up
on
in
Mars.
They get powerful sandstorms up in Mars. They get powerful storms for blowing sand up Mars. They have red sky and things like this, reddish skies, no oxygen, things like this. People have to wear a spacesuit up in Mars.
It's got some pretty bad weather there, doesn't it?
Yes,
It's
it does.
windy, very cold.
And up in Saturn's moon Titan, it rains liquid nitrogen like liquid up in Saturn's moon Titan.
Mars has fewer people than where you are. So I would think this would appeal to you because you live out in the mountains because you don't want to be around people. So looking at Mars and saying there's nothing there, this just I don't buy your reason for being away from society now. Now I'm questioning.
That may be true. However, one thing the mountains has in abundance that I quite like is oxygen.
Sand squatches.
Clean air and clean water. That's like
fresh mountain air.
Okay, moose
Yeah.
Sasquatches.
And all I have to do is
They'll
accept
go to
that
Pluto.
Quinnell is actually over there. What's that, Frankie?
They even go to planet Pluto. It's now a dwarf planet. And Turon, it could go to Kurar, Eris, Sedna, and Ceres. Those are the dwarf planets further away from the sun than Pluto.
The other thing that mountains have is bears too. Yeah, lots of bears. So I guess the National Park Service says never push a slower friend down when escaping a bear. You know that, right? That's good.
You don't have to be faster than the bear.
Yeah, don't push them, just run faster.
Antarctica's getting some darkness now because they'll be getting 12-hour daylight, 12-hour darkness in South Pole Station, McMurdo Station on March 20th. And up North Pole, Kukultuk, where Olivier lives, and Iqaluit, Greece Fjord, and all those places in the rest of the bay, they'll be having 12-hour daylight on March 20th. Says the sun's direct duration at the equinox, at the equator. Then once again around the end of May, then it will be in the end of May. Then it'll be 24-hour daylight up in the Arctic and 24-hour darkness in Antarctica then.
It'll be cold out in Antarctica, won't it?
In Antarctica, it's cold outside in Antarctica. A lot of scientists in Antarctica will be leaving South Pole Station and McMurdo Station before their winter.
Now, does Antarctica have penguins, or is that the other end, the other side of the planet?
The Antarctica has penguins and the Arctic has polar bears.
Now, whenever you've seen a soft drink commercial where the penguins and the polar bears are hanging out, they're lying to you. That never happens because penguins live on the other side of the planet, which is actually a long ways away. And then all they have in common is it's a cold, miserable, barren wasteland. Imogen, you've been on the cover of every magazine in the world this week. You're on the cover of National Geographic.
Okay, I will not disparage. Yeah, but to be fair, yes, I was on the cover of a couple of fashion magazines last month. One out in New York that was Off Town Magazine and Mauvier, which is based in Paris. I just earlier today did an interview with another magazine. Until it's printed, I'm not going to say which one because I don't want to curse it, being a little superstitious. But it's definitely a Rolling Stone, Revolver, Maxim style of magazine. So it's music and girls, stuff like that. Kind of a men's magazine, but it's not dirty. Just like Maxim, right? Did an interview with that one, and I have 2 more covers come down the pipeline. And one of my goofy videos on TikTok went completely viral in the last week. So I just checked the play count a minute ago. It's at 31,300 plays in like a week, which I'm not active on TikTok, so it's a little weird that it took off, but there it goes.
No, it's a terrible platform that's trying to brainwash our children into having no attention span.
But to be fair, it's a cute pet video. The guy in it who has the really strong reaction, the reason he reacts the way he does is because it's actually the dog in the video is a Mexican rescue. And this is one of the first times that the dog is okay with taking a treat from his human companion's face. So the guy gives the dog a treat, holds the piece of bacon in his mouth, and the dog takes it so gentle. And that's why the other guy is so shocked by it. It's because, the backstory. No, there's no backstory in the video.
Which is why I can't use the video because the guy's reaction is
no, you can. You can. It's that part will be dropped in audio, but
which is the best part is the guy's reaction. So you can find Imogen, Imogen.in. You can find her TikTok, and you can see for yourself the hilarious. It's like a Trailer Park Boys kind of reaction. It's like you can imagine we've seen dogs take things out of the guy's mouth before, but when the guy says what he says, it's when it's actually funny. And
you know what? It's even without that, it's still doing its own thing. Like, cause I looked at the analytics and it's just like the most retention is actually at that point where the dog takes the treat. Like, so from the analytics, I can see who's watching up to what point, and the guy's reaction. For me, I've watched it a few times, like on my phone. I've watched it a few times just because I think it's funny and I know the backstory. But for everyone else, it's that awesome pet moment, that awesome moment between a guy and his dog.
It's kind of like this. Funny. It's kind of like this. The dog's like, oh.
Only bites the guy's face.
The guy's
off.
missing he's got his fingers off. He's like, ah!
Oh, holy shoot. Good dog.
Frankie, how does everyone find you on the internet?
My Twitter is @FrankieMacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD 1984. My TikTok is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My Clapper is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My Twitch is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald, and my Snapchat is Frankie MacDon. And my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves, aka Frankie MacDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You are listening to the Comedeorological Weather Report on every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald.
And I'm Joey Only, your host and madman here in Wells, British Columbia. You can find the show if you want to find any of the back episodes. Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. You're hearing us on CFBX, CFDUR, CKUW, Shaw Spotlight. You're hearing us possibly in outer space somewhere. If our sound waves are now traversing the universe. It's great to know. That's why I wanted to be on radio, not just on internet, because I want our sound waves to exist forever. That's how it is. And we're here with Imogen Cookie Bailey, associate producer. We're here with weather specialist Brandon Hauk, and the star of the show, Frankie MacDonald in Sydney, Nova Scotia. We'll be back next week, I hope.
Maybe. No promises.
Yeah. It'll be episode 100.
Awesome.
100th show, Frankie.
Next week will be 100th show of the Joey Only Show, Comedian Plus Meteorology. Show 100 since early January 2021.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna do a video about the guy eating 50 hot dogs at once.
Ketchup, mustard, relish, ketchup, mustard, relish, ketchup, mustard, relish,
I want you to eat 50 hot dogs at once!
ketchup, mustard, relish, ketchup, mustard, relish, ketchup, mustard, relish.
My stomach is upset.